trash, sewage, and debris. It's all spilling in these streets here in Rochelle.
Our case in Rochelle, Georgia is a really good example of the importance of the courts.
For decades, residents have complained about the dumping, but they feel their sewage situation is being ignored because of the color of their skin.
This is a small town where half the town, primarily African American, had never had its sewer systems upgraded, resulting in the discharge of raw sewage into people's yards, into streams, into waterways. The African American community in Rochelle could not get the town to deal with this problem.
All the houses on this side of the railroad track has been affected by that. And it has been presented to city councils over and over the years. They would always push it under the table.
We were introduced to the community in Rochelle and represented them in a case. The city and the community ultimately entered into a settlement agreement, but that's an example of how the political system can fail people and communities. An example that shows why when the political system fails, the courts are a necessary backstop. In the last 2 years, there's been an unprecedented attempt to take away people's right to access the courts. Mechanisms for limiting access to the courts take a few different forms. One is language showing up in draft legislation over and over again that simply says, this decision shall not be reviewable in court. We also see provisions that attempt to make public interest litigation in particular too expensive or too risky for anyone to pursue. There are bills pending in Congress right now. If that legislation had been in effect for the folks in Rochelle, Georgia, they never would have brought that litigation. There's no way they could have taken the risk, even though they were right? They never would have brought the case because of the risk. Really what we're seeing is a coordinated attempt to adopt law and policy that makes it more difficult for people to bring issues into the courts, to hold the government accountable, to hold private actors accountable. Earthjustice has been holding the Trump administration and Congress accountable for their attacks on access to justice. We will continue to do so, and it will take every one of us to fight for our rights to access the court.